time to buckle in.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
It's time for 5-Star Rewind.
Hello?
Tiki and Tierney's top 5 games from this past weekend.
I'm just about that action, boss.
Here we come. It's a man's game now.
All right, every single Monday we'll highlight 5 of the marquee games. We'll take you through the sights and the sounds. First up, we start on the big stage. Sunday night, Big D, 100,000 fans in the house, and the home crowd getting a late treat.
Here's the snap, fumbled by Romo. Picks it up, has a shot in the end zone. It's caught! Jason Witten, it's caught! How do you do? Tie game!
Vern Lundquist getting in the booth there, stepping in for Brad Shant. Nicely done. It's Vern, so what do you expect? Cowboys Radio Network and the Giants clock management, something you and I hit out of the chute. Absolutely deplorable. Des Bryant out from at least maybe 4 weeks, could be 6. So, interesting game last night in Dallas.
It really was, and what a great game-winning drive, as we were just talking about, the 24th of Tony Romo's career with the completion to Jason Witten. Now, the Giants always play well in Big D. They didn't play horrible at the end of the game, but they played horrible for most of the game, and they were given every chance to win this one, but it was failure of coaching and execution that we were talking about. And without a pass rush on Tony Romo, no sacks, really no pressure on him. They got picked apart when it mattered. Now, the Giants may rebound, and we all know that every team at this point is finding themselves, but they're going to lament losing this one on the road to the Cowboys early on.
And this could have really helped out the Eagles as well. I mean, it's a divisional game. Eagles playing tonight. Obviously, interesting matchup with the Falcons. We'll get to the Monday games later. AP's playing tonight in Santa Clara against the Niners, but yeah, that would have been a big upset. Not to sound, I'm not trying to ruin your Monday here, Giants fans, or make it worse. Start studying college. You'll be picking top 10 of the draft. It kind of feels that way. All right, next up, plenty of whispers about the future Hall of Famer's arm, and Peyton not exactly silencing the detractors.
Opening drive, third quarter. Denver up 9-3, looking at a 3rd down and 10 at the Broncos 20. Manning sets in the gun. Ravens show blitz off the edge from Kyle Arrington. Here it comes. Manning under pressure, throws near sideline. It is deflected and intercepted. Jimmy Smith has it, and he's going in for a touchdown. No flags on the play, and for the first time today, the Ravens can take the lead.
That's how it sounded. Ravens D stepping up. Jerry Sandusky on the call on the Ravens Radio Network. That made it 10-9. Baltimore 19-13 the final. Kind of an ugly game, some big injuries as well. And if you put together a compilation of maybe 10 or 12 of Peyton's worst throws, he would look like he's 60.
Yeah, you get like 5 of them in this game. For 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, there was a lot of ineptness. Get this, no touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and a QB rating for Flacco of 38.2, and Peyton Manning wasn't much better at 59.9. What's worse here is that the stalwart for the Ravens defense, they lose, so that insult to that loss. Terrell Suggs is done for the year. And so, golly, man, the 2 teams that we used to count on being in the postseason, I don't know if we can count on them anymore.
That's the second time he ruptures Achilles, and there's a reason why I picked Kansas City to win the West. We'll get to that a little later. Meanwhile, watch out NFL, the Rams, they have a quarterback.
They bring the extra rushers this time. Full steps back, fires 1-on-1 coverage. Kendricks is there. Touchdown, Lance Kendricks. Whoa! Touchdown, Lance Kendricks. Nick Foles and Lance Kendricks beat the blitz on a 37-yard touchdown pass.
Absolute breakdown of the secondary. Nice throw by Foles, dropping the dime. 18 for 27 for 297. Russell Wilson, the touchdown, the pick as well. And that was Steve Savard, DeMarco Farr, Rams Radio Network. Big win. They've beaten Seattle before.
Yep.
This feels a little different.
When you're playing cover 1, man coverage, Deion Bailey, you can't fall down. And Cam Chancellor would have been over there to knock him a little bit, so that would have maybe prevented that touchdown. But for 2 teams that were supposed to have 2 of the better defenses in the National Football League, wow, 31 and 34 points that they both game up. And the return game, the special teams game, was great and bad, depending on which side you were looking at. Tyler Lockett returns a punt for a touchdown. So does Tavon Austin. And some questionable coaching decisions again for the Seattle Seahawks. Going for the onside kick, even though we didn't call the onside kick, it was a pooch punt. And then running on 4th and 1. in the middle of the field.
So now we're going to kill them when they actually come on. You can't have it both ways.
Let's hand it to Marshawn Lynch when you could just roll out with Russell Wilson.
Come on.
People are going to question Darrell Bevell. It is what it is. But you mentioned it, BT. Nick Foles, I had to wait for him to pass the test. He passed it with flying colors.
He looked pretty good. And by the way, Trey Mason and Todd Gurley did not play, so the Rams running back stable's about to get a lot better. Up next for the Rams at the Redskins. They should jump out to 2-0. They should. And Seattle at Lambeau Sunday night. We move on in Buffalo. Some pretty nice debuts, starting with the quarterback. How about this bomb?
2nd and 12 from midfield. The snap. Taylor going to throw it. 5-step drop. Looks, throws, deep downfield, looking for Harbin inside the 10. He has got him, and it is a touchdown. Touchdown, Taylor to Percy Harbin. Tyrod Taylor on the money to Percy Harbin for the touchdown. A 50-yard toss.
Listen, you and I both like the Bills. We both view them as the chief competition, the Dolphins as well, to the Pats' throne here of supremacy in the AFC East. But if you want to overreact, you can do so with Tyrod Taylor. And we've also seen this before from Percy Harbin. He's on 4 teams for a reason. Still, that's a nice win. They smacked around Andrew Luck.
That was a hell of a throw. That was a dime that Tyrod Taylor threw. They didn't ask him to throw it much, 14 of 19. But that's what you do with young quarterbacks. Don't put it all in their hands. Let their defense play great and rush the rock. Carlos Williams, 6 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown. They did it on the ground, but more importantly, that defense, man, that defense that Rex Ryan dials up, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, the blitz, timely blitz, forced Andrew Luck, who's been one of the better quarterbacks over the last couple of years, into serious mistakes. He also got sacked 2 times. So this Bills team, you can count on them being at the top of the AFC East. And Patriots, you might want to watch out next week.
I was going to say, this should be fun in the AFC East. The Pats will visit Ralph Wilson Stadium, which will be jacked up. The Colts at Lucas Oil on primetime Monday against my Jets. The Colts with the 3 turnovers. Otherwise, it was pretty balanced in terms of total yards and time of possession. But here's a word, and I'm sorry, Colt fans. I'm not trying to come at you low on a tough Monday. Your team is soft. Your team is soft, and I don't think management toughened you up enough this offseason to get to the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, in Tampa, move over Fran Tarkenton? What?
Mariota under center. Dropping. Looking. Firing. He's got Delaney Walker. Touchdown! Titans! 4 touchdown passes for the kid. 4 different Titans have scored.
Nicely done. Mike Keith on the call. Titans Radio Network. Nobody really saw this coming. Matter of fact, why would we? It hasn't happened since 1961. The aforementioned Fran Tarkenton, the last player and the only other player besides Mariota to debut with 4 touchdowns in his NFL debut at quarterback.
But you know what was more impressive, BT? Those 4 touchdowns came in the first half, and that is an only for Marcus Mariota. A young quarterback's favorite target, a great tight ends. Delaney Walker for the Tennessee Titans, and Austin Severin-Jenkins on the other side for Jameis Winston. They came on a little bit. He had 110 yards. So if you had him in fantasy, you loved him. But Mariota looked unbelievably in control and aware of everything that was going on in front of him. The case was not the same for Jameis Winston. They didn't protect him at all. This Tampa team put him in bad situations, throwing the ball way too much, getting too much pressure, and not doing enough with the run game at all. It's going to be a long season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It may be a surprisingly good one for Ken Wisenhunt and the Tennessee Titans.
And he kind of needs it after last year's disaster. Mariota, 13 for 16, 209, the 4 touchdowns. Jameis Winston, Tiki's right, he's going to be running for his life all season. Slow start. Got a little better. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. The Titans play the Browns next week, so a chance to beat a bad team.
By the way, Mariota.
Yep.
Perfect QB rating.
That's right.
158.3.
It was perfect.
Can't do any better than that.
And Tampa takes on New Orleans, who wasn't overly impressive either, although that game is in New Orleans, the Superdome. 855-212-4227. There it is. We blitz you around the NFL Week 1 5-star rewind.